Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. I am so excited to share with you all the updates and additions we've made to Helium 10 over the last few months. But before we get started, I can see we have hundreds of live viewers already on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So regardless of where you're watching from, could you take a moment to write in the comments where you're tuning in from? Also, thank you for being here. We are so appreciative that you chose to tune in today. And to show you some of that appreciation, we'd like to begin with our first giveaway. So to win a Helium 10 podcasting microphone with incredible sound quality, take a selfie of yourself watching this webinar and post it to your Instagram or Facebook story and tag Helium 10 Software. We will be announcing the winner shortly, so participate and stay tuned, and we will do that shortly. The title of today's webinar is Always Innovating for Every Step of Your Amazon Journey. Let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Shivali Patel, and I am your local brand evangelist here at Helium 10. I've been an Amazon FBA seller since 2019 and have published books as an Amazon KDP author. I'm very excited to be here presenting this webinar to you because not too long ago, I was on the opposite side of the camera doing what you're doing right now, watching webinars as a Helium 10 user. As I mentioned, I started using Helium 10 in 2019, and one of the things that always attracted me to the software was that it truly helps with every single step of the Amazon journey. So what new additions and features will we be covering today? More ways to access product opportunities and get better data visibility, how to take the guesswork out of research and launches, a cashback management solution, an exciting sneak peek trailer of our upcoming project, the importance of building a brand and marketing it, and 3 exciting announcements that you do not want to miss. So first up, let's get into the updates for our Chrome extension, which is currently used by over 500,000 users. So to do that, let's bring up our product manager for Chrome extension, Simon.
Hey, Shivali, it's nice seeing you. Nice meeting you in person.
Yes.
4D.
Absolutely. I know. This is crazy. This is my first time in the office, and it's wonderful to have you here for the webinar as well.
And get to meet all of our users as well.
Yes, absolutely. So I've been using XRay for a couple of years now, and I'm sure that anybody who has been using it for a little bit of time has noticed a really big change to the interface. So could you talk a little bit about what's new to XRay?
Yeah, absolutely. So if for most of your users who've been using the Chrome extension for the past few months, you probably noticed a pretty big facelift. Now, the changes aren't just cosmetic. We made some big improvements under the hood. So now XRay is faster than ever. In addition, I think we added some nifty new features, the ability to reorder columns, the ability to export historical data for sales and review charts. But the biggest update, I think, and the most notable is the ability to filter your results.
I heard Bradley was really bugging you about that.
Yeah, definitely. There's this one particular filter that he's been asking for, and it's the ability to filter out listings that contain a certain keyword in the title, as you can see on the bottom right corner of the screen. And this is very important to the Maldives honeymoon strategy. And what that is all about is to check how many pages or how many products on a page contain the target keyword in the title. And the idea is that if that particular niche does not contain the keyword in the title, then it'll be easier to rank for that keyword. Now, if you check the example on the screen there, you notice that most of the products on that page contain the keyword egg tray, and it'll most likely be hard and difficult to rank for that keyword.
Yes, but you know, that's almost a spoiler for something that Bradley is going to talk about later. So before you spoil it, let's move on to some of the other new filters.
Yeah, definitely don't want to steal his thunder and consider that a little teaser for today. But basically everything that you see in the Chrome extension or on XRay, all the columns, the data, you can now filter for that in the results. So we got retail price, we got images, we got a whole list of things you could filter out. And of course, the ability to leave out sponsored products.
Super cool. Now, in our last big webinar, we announced a partnership with Alibaba.com for Chrome extension tools, supplier finder, and demand analyzer. But I believe you have some other websites that demand analyzer works on now?
Yeah, definitely. And it's very exciting. Now you can use Demand Analyzer on a bunch of your favorite e-commerce sites. That includes Shopify websites, Etsy, Walmart, Pinterest, and Pinterest Trends.
Chincha!
Oh, you're speaking Korean now. Well,
I am.
Very good. For any Korean-speaking users in the house, please give us a shout out.
Very nice.
Okay, so let's give an example. So you're on walmart.com and you're searching for the keyword egg tray. All you need to do is navigate to the Chrome extension icon on the top right corner, open up the demand analyzer, and what you'll see is a modal that prompts you to enter a keyword, or sometimes like the title, the keyword would actually be in the search bar already. You could choose that or choose among the related keywords on the bottom. And then once you click analysis, you'll get a whole list of results. Now, what you'll be checking for is the demand for that particular keyword on Amazon. It'll show you more related keywords, some of the top selling products for, in this example, egg trays, and so much more.
And that's without ever having to leave the Walmart page?
Nope. So more product research on all the favorite e-commerce sites that you're already browsing.
That's awesome. I also love how you can use that on Pinterest and Etsy as well, because I know that the Project X fans already know that Tim Jordan and Bradley talked a lot about finding product ideas on those websites. So this will definitely make it a little bit easier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of these updates so far have been for Amazon private label sellers. Do you have anything for wholesale sellers?
Yes, it's a little bit of a tongue twister there. Wholesale sellers.
It is.
Yeah, we actually recently launched a tool called the Sales Estimator. And what that is as you know, wholesale sellers are sharing the buy box with a bunch of other sellers. And the guys at the Wholesale Formula actually teach their students teach their students to get their potential sales, to estimate their potential sales. You divide the number of estimated Helium 10 sales by the product or by the number of sellers who are within 2% of the buy box price. So what the Sales Estimator does, if you could take a quick look at the screen, is we provide you the number of sellers who meet that criteria. So 2% of the buy box price. And what we do is we get the sales estimation, and then we divide it by the number of sellers who are within 2% of the buy box price. And what you can do to estimate your potential product, you just go to the left where it says competitive offers and you add yourself, +1.
Okay, so +1 because theoretically you're adding your own offer for the product?
Yep, exactly.
Gotcha.
So what used to take a lot of manual work is now one click away.
Wonderful. Well, Simon, 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
Thank you for some great updates.
My pleasure.
Okay, guys, so just a quick reminder, we have already announced how to play for our first giveaway of the Helium 10 microphone. So if you haven't already, make sure that you take a photo of yourself watching this webinar and post it to your Instagram or Facebook story and tag Helium 10 Software. Don't forget to enter to win. All right, now let's take a trip across America to Massachusetts for our next presenter.
Hi.
Yasi, welcome to the webinar.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So now in the last webinar, you talked about really cool new black box and magnet and Cerebro features, as well as the news that Helium 10 is now functional for Amazon Netherlands. So I'm excited to see what you have in store for us today.
Yeah, this time I have some updates in those same tools, plus a brand new tool and another marketplace rollout. So to start, we've added new filters in Blackbox that allows you to search by a specific seller. So for private label sellers, let's say you want to see a competitor's top products, you can run this filter so that you can see what else they're selling, and then maybe you can get some ideas too.
And like what Simon just announced, this tool has some functionality if someone's a wholesale seller or an arbitrage seller as well.
That's right. Let's say you notice that the same seller is coming up frequently on the products that you're selling. So maybe you assume that he's getting the products in the same store or from a similar supplier as you are. So you might want to know what else he could be selling. So you could run this black box filter on his seller account, and then you could come up with some new ideas for what additional products you can sell. So let me show you how this might work for one of our Project X products. For the wooden egg tray, let's say I notice one of my top competitors is a seller called Labousse. So enter their store name, and then I can easily find what else they're selling.
I see that they're selling a lot of wooden and bamboo products. So this is another way, I guess, you could do product research. If I see something that catches my eye here, then I can do some research using Cerebro.
Exactly. And speaking of Cerebro, now in Cerebro Magnet, we've added search volume trends. So now we have a new column and filter for the 30-day search volume trend to give Amazon sellers even more insights into the keywords that they're researching. So let's say you're trying to make some decisions about which keywords to target or to spend more money on in PPC. You can look up your list of keywords, and because there are a lot of keywords, it might be hard to decide what to focus on. By using the new 30-day search volume trend filter, you can do some additional analysis and filter your keywords even further down. So here I might choose a word to spend more ad money on that I wouldn't have chosen before because it had lower search volume, but now since I noticed it has higher growth, I might spend some more money on it.
Gotcha. So what does the trend represent? You said 30 days?
Yeah, that's right. What we're doing here is comparing the average search volume for the past 30 days to the average search volume of the previous set of 30 days. And we're calculating the percentage change between those two.
Okay, so this isn't something that I've used yet, but I can really see how that would be helpful for sellers. So now you said you also have a new tool that has launched in Helium 10. Is that correct?
That's right. This new tool is called the Listing Analyzer, and it was inspired by users who were looking for more insights into their own listings as well as their competitors' listings. What it allows you to do is to evaluate a single ASIN or up to 10 ASINs at once and to get some quick insights into those listings. You can get feedback such as like market competitiveness, the listing quality, compliance to Amazon best practices, as well as some top keywords for the product. So here's how you might use this tool. Say you recently released your listing and now you want to get a sense of how your listing is doing. What you can do is enter your ASIN into this new tool. And the first thing you might see here is a very detailed listing score, but that's not all.
Okay, now I see that there is market analysis that compares metrics like sales, price, and number of reviews to the market average. So what about those keywords that are there at the bottom? Where do those come from?
These keywords show where you or your competitors are currently ranked in the top 10 organically with monthly search volume of at least 500.
Okay, so kind of like what step one in that Cerebro keyword research process.
Yeah, that's right. But instead of having to run the entire Cerebro search and having to filter down to find those keywords, you have it all here with one single click. If you do want to, however, expand your research into the full Cerebro search, you can still do that by clicking that button you see in the top right corner there, or bottom right corner there. And now let's say you want to get a sense of how you're performing against your top competitors. You can do that by adding some additional ASINs. And now I can easily see how I'm stacking up against my competitors as far as listing quality goes. I can also see the keywords that multiple competitors are ranking highly for.
That is great. So that keyword function is very similar to running a multi-ASIN Cerebro search to find top keywords, but instead of having to filter that down, you can now do it with one click. It's very efficient. You also said that Helium 10 research tools now work in a different marketplace.
Yeah, that's right. You can now use Cerebro, Blackbox, Magnet, Market Tracker, Keyword Tracker, and more for Amazon Australia.
Now, I know a lot of sellers recently requested that, so it's great to finally see it become a reality. Remember, everyone, if you want to request another marketplace on or off of Amazon for Helium 10 to add coverage for, then make sure to let customer support know by hitting the question mark at the top of Helium 10 and then hitting the Request New Features button. Yaxi, thank you so much for sharing your updates. We look forward to seeing what you have in store for us for the next webinar.
Thanks for having me.
Now it's time to announce the winner of the Helium 10 microphone. Congratulations to Amazon Solutions LA. Congratulations on winning the Helium 10 podcast microphone. Make sure to reach out on the Helium 10 Instagram page, DM us, or email support@helium10.com. All right, so let's keep this ball rolling, shall we? We've alluded to Project X earlier today, which is the case study that we did on YouTube to show how to get started on Amazon. The hosts of that series were Bradley from Helium 10 and Tim Jordan from Private Label Legion, Sellers Funding, and the AMPM podcast. So let's invite Tim onto the show now. Tim, we have in person, but I'm hoping that we can meet in person at the Prosper show that's coming up.
Absolutely. We're all going to have a pretty big show there, I would say. And it's going to be cool to meet you and some of the other new employees that I haven't had a chance to meet yet. You guys are hiring so fast and so many people I can't keep up.
I know. But more on the Prosper show and our Helium 10 social to come in a little bit. But first, let's talk about some new features of Ulta by Helium 10. So for those of you who don't know what Ulta is, can you give us a quick recap of all that Ulta has been able to do for Amazon sellers until now?
Sure. So the brief history is, when I was sitting down a couple years ago now with Manny and Boyan and the rest of the folks there at Helium 10, we were thinking about what we could do for sellers. Finances came up. And there are so many restrictions that e-commerce sellers have in being able to grow their business because of lack of cash flow or inability to open up receiving accounts in different countries and all sorts of stuff. So basically, we put together a list of the most common needs for e-commerce sellers, and we put together Ulta in partnership with Sellers Funding. And it is very specifically made for e-commerce sellers, whether Amazon or other platforms even. That includes working capital. There's multiple types of working capital that are basically offered really looking at your growth potential, not just 2 years of tax returns like traditional banks. And it's been very, very successful and very highly, reviewed would be the right word to date. We also have some features like daily advance, where instead of waiting 2, sometimes 3 or even more weeks to get paid by Amazon, you can get money in your account every day. We have supplier pay. We have digital wallets. Basically everything that an e-commerce seller could want in one platform, we did with Ulta.
That is truly incredible. I mean, just so beneficial to Amazon sellers, But you also have something new to announce that's now available, right?
Yes, absolutely. Because as we continue to work between Sellers Funding and Helium 10, we think of ways to improve. And as requests are made and capabilities continue to improve, we think about things that we can launch next. And one of the things that was most frequently requested that is put together now officially is this cashback management solution. So it's basically what we're calling the Ulta by Helium 10 business card. It's not just a virtual credit card, but a way to actually get cash back through your normal everyday transactions.
Wow. I remember the days when Helium 10 was just the go-to place for keyword research, So it's crazy to think that we now even have what amounts to the Helium 10 credit card.
I know it's come a long way since Manny Coates started all this basically as a lead magnet for the AMPM podcast. Speaking of which, shameless plug, if you'll allow me, if you didn't know, I took over as host of the AMPM podcast last year. We have had over the past year and continuing to have some amazing guests on the show, drop lots of knowledge bombs for e-commerce entrepreneurs. So make sure to subscribe on either Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. We have it on YouTube. But anyways, back to this business card. Shivali, you're an Amazon seller. I assume that you use credit or debit cards within your business. Now, let's say that you wanted to buy something with your credit card, whether it's ad spend or inventory, but you first needed to pay that credit card off with your proceeds from Amazon. How would that process work?
So first, I would have to wait a couple of weeks for my Amazon disbursement to be paid out, then wait a couple of days for it to hit my bank account, and then I'd have to make a payment from my bank to my credit card and wait a few days for it to clear.
And that's normally how it works. A lot of times getting your money can take 3 weeks or more, and that can significantly slow down your business. But if you combine some of these Alta products, right? Let's say you have the Alta daily payouts, then you can get the payments the next day. You add it to this new digital card, and now you can just about instantly spend your money to whatever it is, buy more ads, buy more inventory, and you're good to go.
I feel like but wait, there's more coming.
But wait, there's more. Yes, there's more. Not only does the card allow you to significantly speed up your ability to make purchases and get your cash faster and be able to do some cool things, especially if you're international, but with this card, you can actually get cash back in a variety of ways. I'm going to list them all briefly right here. The first way is kind of the most robust is 1% cash back on every purchase made using the prepaid business card. So if you're an international seller and you're doing online arbitrage, if you are buying Google ads, or if you're actually charging your Amazon PPC to a card, like every dollar that you spend with this prepaid business card, you get 1% cash back, which is pretty massive.
Oh, that is so amazing. If anybody in the audience is already an Ulta member, then they should already have this in their dashboard that's available to activate. But for those of us who haven't signed up, or for those of you who haven't signed up for a free Ulta account yet, how can they do that?
Well, let me actually back up a slide and say this. If you haven't signed up for an Ulta card, check this out. This is another promotion that's put together. If you want to begin using a daily advance and those daily advance funds go onto the business card, you get 0.15% back on every daily advance received. You can also get 0.25%. And you can read it here, some pretty cool features. And then we're also giving away basically credit for local ACHs and wires if you are utilizing this business card, which is pretty cool. And all of those fees will just be reimbursed to your card. And that goes on for the first 4 months. So there is kind of a limited time on that. But to get started, you can go directly to helium10.com/Alta and hit the Create Alta Account button to get started. There are some restrictions. For example, the prepaid card, you have to have a U.S. entity, right? A business entity. It doesn't mean that you can't live in Germany, but you do have to have a U.S. business entity. And you see some of the other stuff here on the slide. You've got a little bit of a time limit. You have to get some of the stuff going before July 15th. It's for Amazon payments only, all that good stuff. But if you want to get signed up, definitely go to helium10.com/Alta to find out more details.
All right. Well, thank you, Tim, for that announcement about Ulta. We will see you in Vegas next month.
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
So it's not just all about amazing tools and products that are being announced today. I'm excited to announce that Helium 10 is premiering a new docuseries highlighting the entrepreneurial journey called Elevate. So to talk about that, let's bring on a familiar face, Helium 10's social media manager, Cassandra Craven.
Hi, Shivali. How are you?
Good. How are you?
In case no one's told you, you're a fabulous host.
Oh, thank you. I've learned from the best.
Thank you so much. I'm glad we got the Blazer memo.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I am here to talk about Elevate. And for months, Elevate has been a top secret project here at Helium 10. But now we are ready to premiere it to the world. It showcases all of our Amazon sellers, for Amazon sellers and e-commerce entrepreneurs throughout their journeys, highs, lows, lessons, and everything in between. So I think without further ado, let's get to the trailer, the world premiere.
Somebody, had an idea of, what if we can make kids' car seat a more pleasant experience?
Started as just like an inkling, just like a little small seed.
For the first days of me getting into e-commerce and getting into Amazon, it's like this whole new field I don't know anything about.
Fulfillment by Amazon Prime was just starting and people were talking, oh my God, how amazing it is. Why can't I do that?
When I wake up when I go to bed every night, I go to bed thinking about what to do the next day with Kids Embrace.
A lot of people tend to be fearful. The fact that we're scared to fail.
Selling on Amazon allowed me to exit my 9-to-5 job. I now own my life. I can do whatever I want.
You always have to surround yourself with the people on the same brainwave. People who have high expectations of life. Whatever they do, they want to go level up, level up.
Wow, how inspiring.
It's so exciting to see it all come together. And I'm sure many of you, as you watch the trailer, have been wondering, well, who are these 4 entrepreneurs that we're showcasing in this docuseries? Well, on our premiere episode, we would like to welcome Vincent Mastrangelo of Kids Embrace to talk about the series now.
Hi there.
Hey, Vincent.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. I feel like we just saw each other.
We did just 2 days ago. It was very nice to see people for the first time in a long time. It was fantastic.
It's exciting to get back into it. Thank you for being here. I'd love to talk to you about your experience with Elevate. How did it feel when we first approached you about the project? What went through your mind?
I was flattered, first of all. I mean, it was really amazing to be asked to be part of something so really groundbreaking experience, and just was really flattered and moved, and I was very excited about the opportunity, and it lived up to all the expectations I had. It was really just a wonderful experience. You've been amazing to work with, your staff, and Dwight, Fernando, everybody at Helium 10, and then the cast as well. To meet everybody the other day was just, again, the experience has been fantastic throughout. Really wonderful.
I have to say, Vincent, it's surreal for me too. So exciting. And how did it feel the day of? You know, you see the cameras roll in, the crew is there, you got craft services setting up. How did you feel? How did your warehouse workers feel? How was everything?
Yeah, you feel very special. It's very nice to see it all kind of happen. You usually you're moving stuff behind the scenes, doing work to get everything done for other people. So to see a setup there for you is unique. You gotta stop and take it in for a second, enjoy it, which is what we try to do. And I made sure my employees and our workers really did as well, because they're a huge part of everything we do. Some of them have been with us for 12 years. It's a long time since we started. But it was awesome. It was a great experience. Your team made us feel super comfortable. We had a lot of fun throughout the whole day, the whole experience. I mean, every minute of the taping and all the ideas they had, just to see it come to fruition, and then to see the trailer recently and how well it was executed it just blew me away. So well done.
Sentiment is shared with all of us here. And how did you feel sharing your experiences overall with everyone on set, and now the world is going to see them as well?
I mean, it was great. I mean, again, it was so easy to talk to the staff there when they asked the questions, or when Dwight had put this together. It was just like having a conversation, and before you know it, you're just kind of talking and realizing how what you've really done. And when you take a look back, as I'm saying some things and the questions come out and I start to answer, you start to really take it in of the experiences and what it's taken to get to where we're at, and kind of where we're going, as I say, which is really more important, not just where we're at, but where we're going. And it was just, again, it was a really great experience. I mean, they made it so pleasant. But it was something that I did take some deep breaths and take some stock in, some of the small victories. I like to tell people, take, especially on Amazon, we all know, and just being sellers or in being entrepreneurs, you got to get kicked in the gut a lot, right? So you got to take those wins and enjoy them when you can, and then regroup and start moving that mountain again. So.
Awesome. Well, here's to Elevate being a win. And I'm so excited for the world to see you, Christina, Isabella, and Mina take on the world. Thank you so much for being here with us, Vincent. We can't wait for the premiere on July 15th.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate you so much. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing all about Elevate with us, Cassandra.
So excited. I can't wait for the premiere.
Yes, absolutely. So a little bit ago, Tim was talking about how we've been hiring a lot here at Helium 10. So thanks to that, I was the new kid on the block, but not for long, because I have somebody new to introduce to you today on the evangelism team here at Helium 10. I'd like to introduce you to Carrie, our new brand evangelist. Carrie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, yes, thanks, Shivali. My name is Carrie Miller. I've been selling on Amazon for about 5 years. And I've actually been using Helium 10 since 2016, the early days back with mini coats. So it's really exciting to be here, and I'm so excited to be a member of the team.
It's great to have you. Now, if you don't mind, would you do the honor of introducing our next guest?
Sure. So next up, we have our product manager, Alex.
Hi, Carrie.
Hey, Alex. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on today.
Awesome. I'm so excited about what you're going to talk about with some new updates for portals. As a seller, I like to implement strategies that aren't going to waste too much time, and that I know if I, implement something, it's going to make a really big impact. And sometimes I kind of have a vague idea of what to do, and not really. Sometimes I can't really put my finger on exactly how to implement something. And so I was wondering, I know there's some new features in portals, like with product inserts. Do you have any maybe case studies or templates or anything that you might be able to help me with this to help decipher whether or not, these things are going to be helpful for my business?
Absolutely. So for those of you that tuned into our previous product webinar, we discussed the initial release of the product inserts feature in portals. And we highlighted a case study we did with one of Bradley's products. It actually turned out to convert very, very well. As you pointed out, we wanted to explore, is there other expert or professional product inserts that we could make available to our users? And so the latest addition to our product inserts feature in portals now includes what we're calling featured product inserts or professional product insert templates from a number of influential or expert Amazon sellers. And here are the examples that I can share with you today. So you can see there's actually 3 different sellers that we've worked with, some of which you probably know very well. So Norm Farrar, Paul Barron, and Tom Wang. So these are the templatized product inserts that they use. These are the real actual product inserts designs that they use in their products that are selling today. And similar to the product inserts that exist today, these featured product inserts from these expert sellers can be customized to your brand. So you see Norm Farrar's extended warranty product insert with a QR code and a little short link underneath that. He's also got a social media engagement product insert with a QR code and short link as well. You can see Paul Barron's trifold, beautiful design with his branding there, QR code, those links. And then we have Tom Wang's, again, heavily using the QR code and short link feature, liking to promote social media and really getting that branding across. So we've taken their IP out of them, but they've been helpful enough to provide these and make them available to all of our users to design, customize to your brands. You can download, print them, and start using them today.
That's so awesome. And I think you did a webinar or something on this. Is there a way you can maybe let people know where they can find more information about these? I think it was with Norm Farrar, because these are pretty big sellers. It's pretty exciting to be able to, copy just exactly what they're doing and implement into your own business.
Right. So Barkus and I had Norm Farrar and Paul Barron on a webinar, which you can go to our YouTube channel, Helium 10. It's about 2 weeks back, and you'll see an episode that we did with Norm and Paul talking about getting started with product inserts, how to go about using them, how to go about getting them into your product packaging, what the pricing looks like, what the ROI looks like, what success they've seen from implementing these types of strategies as well. So 2 experts that we interview heavily for about an hour, and you can go look at see that at our YouTube channel.
Wow, that's awesome. So we've got really awesome templates for our inserts, which is really exciting because sometimes it's hard to decide what to put on there. Do you have a way, like an easy checklist or some way that we can, a step-by-step plan that we can follow to implement portals with these inserts, or just how can we put it all together?
Right. So that can be somewhat of a challenging task, right? So you have a product insert with a QR code and short link. Where does that go to? What is the strategy that I should be using to bring all these things together? And we understand that that's, like I said, a challenge, and it's been a pain point for a lot of sellers, particularly new sellers to the game. So we've also pushed out, as of today, our blueprints feature, which is out-of-the-box lead generation and sales funnels that guide you through each step on how to use these portal components together in a proven strategy. And so we have warranty activation, claiming a coupon code, so offering group or single-use coupon codes within Amazon, and for those prominent in social media engagement. And what this would look like is you can choose one of the 3 blueprints that we have to start out with. It outlines the steps, and you can see how it uses the different components within portals together. So if you have an order that's delivered, you would include your product insert, which is already pre-selected the warranty activation product insert type, because we have many different types, it'll automatically include a QR code on that product insert design that is automatically set up and linked to your portal, which is also pre-selected the warranty activation portal type. Again, we have many different types that is set up to collect customer information. So all you have to do is generate this blueprint, customize your product insert and portal to your branding, images, copy, anything that you'd like to customize, and your warranty activation blueprint is ready to start collecting customer information.
Wow, that's super helpful to just, have something that helps you to put it all together, because sometimes, it can get confusing. What should I do next, and how can I put this all together? So that's amazing, and I think going to be really helpful for a lot of sellers. I noticed though, when we look at some of the pages, the portal pages, I noticed at the bottom, or on inserts, there's a place for a website. And I think, it might look a little interesting if it's just a landing page like portal.helium10.com. Is there a way that we can customize this, if we're trying to build a brand and kind of add that onto there as well?
Right. So the emphasis on branding is becoming more and more important as competition thickens, and just the need to emphasize your branding every chance you get. So if you've historically used portal landing pages, you'll notice that the URL that you get for your landing page is portals.click/ some random characters that is your unique link for your landing page. And the same would go for your short URL that you would include in your QR code. And so we wanted to offer the ability to better brand our landing pages. And so we have now included the ability to purchase and connect custom branded domains directly within portals. So the idea is to make this much easier and more accessible to purchase and connect to start using branded domains. So the value here for sellers is that you can get a custom branded domain that's aligned to your brand or product. It helps establish your brand and gate your brand. So when you're choosing your brand name, some like to actually see if that brand name is available in the form of a domain. The other thing that's important is when you're driving traffic to your landing page, in a lot of cases, if you're running ads, you'll choose to have a display URL. And so it's very important to have a trusted URL, which again is the importance of having a branded domain. And then similarly, if someone is reaching your landing page, they want to know that this is a trusted site, and they can see that you have a branded domain there as well, which once you purchase your branded domain, you can connect to any of your portal landing pages, customize that / or slug in your URL, and you can do the same for your QR code short links.
Wow, that's so awesome that you can just really just put everything together all in one place. I mean, how easy is that? You don't have to, click and find other websites or do research and say, where do I find this, or how can I register all this? It's all there for you. That's so exciting. So just a quick question, who are these available to yet? And are they available right now?
Yes, so our featured product inserts are available to all users as of a few weeks ago when we pushed that update out. Blueprints, as of this morning today, is available to all users, and domains for now is just available to elite customers. It's in a beta phase right now, and we'll be making it available to all users within the coming weeks.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for all these amazing new features. I think this is going to be really helpful for a lot of new or sellers, just new and established sellers. And just one last question. Will I be seeing you at Prosper?
Yes, you will. I'll be there along with a lot of other Helium 10 folks. So come down to our booth or our event that we'll be talking about in just a second.
Yeah, awesome. I look forward to meeting you in person. So we've talked a lot about Prosper throughout this whole webinar. So if you're wondering what that is, it's a trade show that Helium 10 will be attending. So if you want to attend Prosper, you can get $100 off your ticket at helium10.com/prosper.
We would love to meet our users, so come and visit us at our booth. We'll also be having a pre-party before the Prosper show. So if you want to join us for a night of networking and socialization at the Helium 10 Social, rock out on the record, get your tickets at helium10.com/rockout. Okay, so we've got one more giveaway for today, and that is 2 tickets to Rock Out on the Record. the Helium 10 social event at this year's Prosper in Las Vegas. So here is how to play to win those tickets. Comment one thing that you love about Helium 10 into whatever live stream that you are watching from, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn. And remember that the event is on the 13th in Vegas. So the winner receives a pass for themselves and for a friend, and it's valued at $138. So play to win. Thank you, Carrie, for talking to us about Prosper, as well as chatting with Alex to tell us all about portals. Did you ever think that you'd see a day where, Helium 10 would have the credit card and a platform also to register domains like GoDaddy?
No, it's pretty amazing what's been happening. It's so cool to see how far the company has come. And I think I see someone wanting to switch places with me. So here's that.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Shivali. And thank you, everybody who's been on this so far. I mean, those of you guys who have been around, you remember the old days when Manny Coates used to have to do these webinars all by himself. And then it was pretty much me. I had to write the slides and I had to present it from start to finish. It was crazy back in the day. But now we've got our brand evangelists like Shivali and Carrie, and we got all of our amazing guests that we have and our product managers who make the slides. I don't even have to do anything anymore. Not only that, we've got 10, 15 people behind the scenes, doing, screen shares and all these crazy things and making scripts. It's amazing the kind of team that we have here at Helium 10. So thank you for everybody who's been involved in making this happen. So I guess we pass you the baton, right?
We took the baton from you, just like you took it from the Helium 10 founder, Manny Coates, back in 2018.
Speaking of Manny, speak of the devil. All right. Now, Manny Coates, he launched something. Again, for you old timers, you guys might have known this. You guys see this, but do you know where that picture is that we're looking at right now? No. That is actually about 2 miles that way in a WeWork. Helium 10 used to be in a WeWork over here in Irvine. But he launched something in 2017 that was kind of game changing at the time. And it's the CPR method. All right. Now, basically what this is how to get to page 1 on a product launch. Now, this was a little bit before your time, but when you launched, did you know about the CPR? Did that play a role?
Yes. So I was taught to use it to see how many units it would take to get to page 1. But I remember at the time I couldn't really afford to do the giveaways needed for my main keyword. Yeah.
Well, since that time when you launched, a lot of people have changed the way that they launch. Back in the old days, people who were using the quote unquote giveaway method, they would give 80% off coupon codes, and then they would send people to 2-step URLs. And that was what the original CPR was based on, because people who would use that method, that's what they were doing in order to launch. But nowadays, a lot of people are doing search, find, buy orders, full organic orders in order to get to page 1 without a 2-step URL, without a discount coupon.
Oh, well, I mean, even if someone isn't using this to launch, I'm sure that they'd still be interested in knowing how many PPC or organic purchases it might take to get to page 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's something we want to know about. Not a lot of us don't have the budget to be able to do this kind of launch method, but we know that eventually we can get to page 1 if we have organic orders. How much does it take to actually get to page 1? So I'm very happy to announce that now active in Helium 10 is the new CPR 3.0 number. This is the 3rd iteration of the CPR. This took over a year of research to do with our amazing data science team. We took over 1,000 keyword launches and just broke down tens of thousands of data points in order to come up with a new formula. All of these over 1,000 launches were all done with organic search, find, buy, no 2-step URLs, no discount coupon codes. And we got a formula. I mean, some of this math is kind of beyond me, but it's 88% accurate. So if we do this new formula, 88% of the time, it's going to get you not only just to page 1, like the original CPR was, but to the top 16 of page 1. And we actually also incorporated things from the Maldives honeymoon launch strategy. I think a lot of you guys have been talking about that in the past. Now, if you don't know what the Maldives honeymoon strategy is, we talked about this on the podcast, originally episode 200. And then just last week, we did another episode 250. And it takes into a lot of consideration, a lot of different factors that a lot of sellers maybe hadn't taken into consideration before. Like, do you have the keyword you're targeting in the title? How many other listings on page 1 have the keyword in the title.
That's the thing that Simon almost spoiled for
He
everyone.
almost,
right?
thank you for stopping him. He almost spoiled that, for me right there. But that's part of the Maldives honeymoon launch strategy that he was talking about. And we'd also take into consideration other things like how old is the listing? And it's just amazing like how detailed this CPR number is. The old one was kind of just based on like the search volume and the competitors, but these are all now based on the new CPR. Now, let me just show you guys. I hope you guys can see this on the screen there. But like I said, this is active right now for all Helium 10 users. You guys see there's a CPR column, and this is the new number in Magnet and Cerebro that you have. And you probably notice it's a fraction of what the old one used to be. Like some of these used to have a number like 400 or 500 because that's how many discounted giveaways it would take. And now it's like 10% or 20% or 30% of that. Now, what you see here in Magnet and Cerebro, like the screenshot, is what we call the static CPR. It's taking into consideration a lot of these new things that we talked about, but it's more of a general number just based on a generic listing, right? But however, this is pretty cool, guys. If you want more custom numbers about a specific ASIN, we now have the dynamic CPR number inside of Keyword Tracker. See, where CPR wasn't in Keyword Tracker before. Now, this number takes into consideration the exact ASIN that you're trying to launch or relaunch, and it takes things into consideration like how old is a listing? Like when did it go live on Amazon? Does that listing, that exact listing, have the target keyword in phrase form in the title? How many listings on page 1 of the keyword you're trying to launch to have it on the title? It's taken into consideration all of those things and more.
How cool is that?
Pretty cool, I think. Did everybody say that? I hope everybody said that together. All right. Those of you podcast listeners, you know about that. All right. Now, in that, speaking of the podcast episode that I mentioned, we have a lot more examples of the different case studies. Like I said, we literally launched over 1,000 projects that we did with AZ Rank. They helped us out a lot on that to get to this number. And I talk about a lot of those. I use Project X products. I use Project 5K products in order to test it. So make sure to take a listen to that episode. Like right now, guys, if you're watching this on your computer, just take out your phone, go to like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure to subscribe to the Serious Sellers Podcast. Now, don't start listening to it right now. If you're watching this live, stay here, but at least subscribe there so you can go back after this webinar and take a listen to episode 250, where I go about 45 minutes in depth. I actually went to the Maldives. I just got back last week. I went to the Maldives to film this about the Maldives launch strategy combined now with CPR 3.0. Speaking of CPR, you just used CPR on one of your own products, right? This new one.
That's right. That's right. So on one of the accounts I manage, I wanted to relaunch a dormant product to page 1 for a keyword that I wasn't ranking for. And that was knee pillow for side sleeper. So I was ranked in PPC, but not organically. And the CPR number was 32. So I had azrank.com do 32 search find buys in the hopes of getting to page 1.
Now, how's it going so far?
Well, after the first day, I already started ranking for the keyword. And now, as of today, only 3 days later, I'm already on page 1, position 26.
After 3 days only.
Yeah, 3 days only.
That's crazy.
3 days only.
So, I mean, the promotion's not even finished yet. You're already on page 1. Yes. So it's probably guaranteed you're probably going to get to that top 16.
Absolutely.
That's crazy, guys. This is active for all of you right now in all of your accounts, whether you're Platinum, Diamond, or Elite. Check it out, guys. Magnet, Cerebro, and then the new Dynamic CPR that is in a Keyword Tracker. Now, let us know, use it. Let us know how it works. We're constantly continuing to analyze to make sure that our formula stays the same because, Amazon changes sometimes. So we definitely want to know if something's working really great or if something's not working that great. Let us know so we can take a look. Does the formula need to be tweaked? Because we want to make sure that this is the gold standard for those of you using Search, Find, Buy in order to launch your products.
Well, thank you for working so hard on this new feature for sellers. Now it's time for another guest. Let's travel to visit Colleen, our growth product manager.
Hey.
Colleen, how's it going?
It's going really well. It's great to see you.
Hold on, my computer just completely died. There we go. I got my computer back. I couldn't see you. There you go, Colleen. How's it going? I'm seeing you right now, but am I going to see you in the Prosper Show too, coming up soon, I hope?
Yeah, I'll definitely be there. I'm really excited to meet all my new coworkers, but also just to kind of meet more Helium 10 users. That's like my favorite part of working here. So I hope to see some of the people on the live stream there in person.
Cool. Now today we've been talking about new feature releases of existing tools. We're talking about new tools, but what you have to share with us isn't really either of those things, is it?
Yeah, it's a little bit different. It's the Helium 10 Trusted Partner Directory. So we've launched a place where Amazon sellers can connect with and find the right partners to scale their business. Think stuff like creative agencies, Amazon PPC experts, and more.
Okay, so that sounds awesome, but tell us more about it. Like, first of all, what like prompted you guys to even work on this? You know, sometimes I come up with some ideas of like, hey, I think people would like this, but I know this one didn't come from me. So like, how did you guys know to make a tool like this?
Yeah, so like this one like really came from our users. Like one of the most popular questions that we see on our social pages is, you know, can anyone recommend a great seller for something? And business owners and new sellers were clearly looking for some help finding like trustworthy and really effective partners. And Helium 10 was really uniquely positioned to connect sellers and partners together since we have established relationships with so many leading experts across the globe.
Yeah, I mean, I would see that constantly, especially like the Facebook groups and customer service. People are asking for recommendations on this and that. And sometimes it's kind of like hard to know like, hey, who is somebody who's actually trying to give a legit recommendation or who's just like spamming. So talk a little bit more about how this new directory works, please.
Yeah, it's like super easy. So all you have to do is you visit directory.helium10.com to find partners for the category you're looking for, like PPC experts or shipping and fulfillment. So a little bit of instructions here, but again, like super simple. We tried to make it as easy as possible to connect sellers with experts. So I'm really pretty stoked about it.
Okay, so like, let's just say somebody is looking through this directory and they find a company that fits their needs.
Yeah.
What's the next step?
Yeah, so also easy. All they have to do is like click on the expert they want to work with and then fill out like a really short, simple form with basically just like your name, your company information, your email, and kind of what kind of help you're looking for. And then the partner will get back to you really, really quickly and you guys can start a conversation.
Okay, so I know this is just getting started. Like I think it just went live like a couple of days ago. So how often are you going to be adding more vendors to this directory? And can you tell us any sneak peeks about things that are coming to this new platform?
Yeah, so like you said, just getting started. We have a lot of like excellent partners on here that I'm already really stoked about. We're in conversations all the time, adding in new experts. If there are any like agencies, you know, or freelancers listening in today, you can go to h10.me/partner directory and fill out an application. And once someone on the Helium 10 team will reach out to you for it. In terms of sneak peeks, I think there's a lot of really cool features coming up. One of the things that we're going to be looking at is reviews for the vendors. So once you work with them, you'll be able to kind of see like what other Helium 10 members and Amazon sellers are thinking and what they've been able to reach, you know, with these new partnerships.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Colleen, for introducing this new directory to the Helium 10 audience. I'm going to see you in a month at Prosper.
Yeah, for sure. I'm stoked. See you there.
All right, guys, now it's time to announce the winner of the free tickets to the Helium 10 social event at the Prosper Show. Remember, the Helium 10 social rock out on the record. It's going to be a blast. There's going to be karaoke. There's going to be hundreds of Amazon sellers. Almost everybody you've seen today, either our guests or those of us who are the hosts, will all be there. We can take some pictures together. It's going to be awesome. Let's see do we have a winner, guys? Let me see. All right, the winner is Joshua Lydell. Let me just peeking over here. Joshua Lydell, KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. I love it. Josh, I'm going to get to meet you at the Prosper Show. So make sure to slide into the DMs of Helium 10 there on Instagram or send a message to customer support at helium10.com, and we'll hook you up with your free tickets. So now it's time to invite our next guest. Are we taking an airplane to our next guest? No, we're going right here next to me. We've got Justin, the CEO and co-founder of PickFu. Justin, we've met before. You've been on the podcast before. It's great to see you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Bradley.
All right, now here at Helium 10, you know this. We've been talking about PickFu for years. You know, Kevin King, Manny Coates, even before my time, just because it is so amazing. Now, a lot of us old timers we all know about Pick Food. We have a lot. We have, let's see, we have over 1,000 people listening today. So I guarantee there's people who might not know what you guys do at Pick Food. Can you like talk a little bit about it?
Yeah. So in a nutshell, Pick Food is a do-it-yourself polling platform that lets sellers get quick feedback from real consumers on their product, their design, or even their pricing. And that way they know that when they go live on Amazon, that there is a market for what they're selling. So when you're testing live on Amazon, there's always the risk that you might be losing customers or revenue. So there's no risk when you're testing on Pick Food because it is a private platform that's off Amazon.
Yeah, for me, it was that G word, game changer, right? I try not to use that word unless it's really a game changer. That was a game changer for me because like Justin just said, in the old days, when we would do split testing, we would have to do it on a live listing, all right? Like we've got our coffin shelf out there and like, all right, let's change the image like this for 2 weeks. And then let's change the image back to something else for 2 weeks. Well, by definition, like if you think something's outperforming the other, that means half the time you're losing sales. You're leaving money on the table. So this is so cool because you can get all of that out of the way before you even launch your listing. Now, here at Helium 10, we love to bring, you know, the everyday entrepreneur access to business intelligence tools that maybe you guys didn't even know existed, or you thought, oh, that's only for like enterprise level companies. So without further ado, I'm so happy that we've done it again. We're very happy to announce that we have partnered with Pick Food to bring you guys Helium 10 Audience. Helium 10 Audience. Let's throw it up there on the screen so we can take a look here at what Audience can do. And my screen is not sharing. That's me. We got computer issues here. Let's go ahead and share the screen. I want people to see this. All right, let's go here. Window. Audience. Boom. Can you guys see it now? Throw it up there, Brian. There we go. Helium 10 Audience. Let's take a look. All right. So with Audience, you can start with a number of things that you want to test. You know, you Amazon sellers, I'm sure you guys can come up with a lot. Some of the main ones that I think a lot of people do are like images, logos, things like that. Right after that, in Helium 10 Audience, you then put the question, like, what are you trying to find out? And then you put the options like, hey, there's going to be 2 options. Can people pick from 3 options? Now, Justin, this next slide here is about audience targeting. So what kind of audience does Audience, see what I did there, have the ability to reach? Like, how deep can you get?
Yeah, sure. So with Audience, you actually tap into over 10,000 US-based English-speaking respondents. And they have all agreed to a non-disclosure agreement. They're paid a stipend for their participation. So there is an incentive for quality. As far as the targeting goes, there's over 40 different demographic or behavioral traits that you could target. So you could be targeting an Amazon Prime member who's over 55, or maybe a single woman who exercises frequently. You can really go as deep or specific as you want. Or you can just do a general audience if you're looking to appeal to everyone.
Cool. Now, I actually, test drove this the other day, and you guys might recognize this is the Helium 10 Project X coffin shelf. Now, here's an example of how I used Audience. Now, what I wanted to find out, obviously, the Helium 10 coffin shelf has been up for almost 2 years now, but I'm just curious, all right? The image that I have now, is that still the best image I can use, or maybe has customer demographics changed and now they want a different image? So I put up 3 different images of the same coffin shelf, just with different props. And actually, sure enough, the 2 main ones that 2 years ago, people said they liked the best, they still do. So notice the detail, though, on the reply. So the way Audience works is it's not just some bots and drones like clicking, yes, exactly, I picked this one. You actually make them like say something, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're not just saying A, B, or C. They actually have to give written explanations why. And that's actually very helpful for your team to have actionable feedback about what to do next on the product or the design.
Let me take a look at some of these here that people said. Like this one person said, I like the lightest of the colors for this product. It's still dark enough to work with, well with the theme of the product, but light enough. I mean, these guys are going deep.
No,
so like,
yeah.
That's awesome. It's not like, oh, this looks pretty. Like they're giving you some insights.
Yeah, they're giving you reasons and insights that you can actually take action on.
Okay. Now, Audience also gives a breakdown of some of those demographics that you're talking about. Like, so we see here age range, education level. Now, here in this one, this was a test I did for a main image. Mm-hmm. What other use cases can you imagine for the average Amazon seller, what they would like to test?
Yeah, I mean, main image testing is definitely something that all sellers can and should do with Audience. But you shouldn't stop there, because every element of your product listing is important. So you can test things like your product title, your product description, One example might be changing the ordering of the bullets in your description and testing out those variations. You could even test your A+ content or even upload a video. So these are all things you can do on the listing side. But it's not just an A or B thing. Like you can actually do open-ended feedback. So maybe you have a product idea that hasn't even you haven't even started yet. You can get feedback on that just to validate it. You can even get open-ended feedback on your product or listing now just to see what questions that customers may still have about it. And lastly, you should definitely do competitive testing. So you should put your product image or listing up against some of the category leaders to see what are some of the reasons that maybe you're losing out in the clicks or the conversions. You don't see that data in Amazon.
Right.
You actually want to see the reasons why. Maybe it's the pricing, maybe it's the photo, whatever it is. Like this is really helpful insight.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Justin, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for being genius level that you can even come up with such a cool software like PickFu. And lastly, thank you for now incorporating this for all the Helium 10 Nation out there under audience. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you for having me.
I'll see you at Prosper Show.
For sure. We're at the booth right next to you guys. So
you're not all right. All right.
Come and say hi.
All right. Buy me some food and drinks too while I'm out
sure.
there. All right. All right. Thanks a lot, Justin. All right. So now, you guys, this is really huge to be able to do this as Amazon sellers. I hope you guys are paying attention here and not just like, oh, that sounds cool. Like, no, I want you guys to actually use this. I've been using PickFu for like the longest time. This is so cool that it's now available in Helium 10. So I want you guys to think about what can you do a test on and how can it benefit your Amazon business. Now, one thing that you guys know about the podcast, those of you who listen, I always give that means TST, 30-second tip. So here's actually a 30-second tip for this webinar. I never keep it to 30 seconds, so I apologize if I go over time. But we just talked about how in audience, you can like dive and really target market certain demographics. Well, let's say that I've already been selling on Amazon for a while, like I have with the Project X and the Manny's Mysterious Oddities Coffin Shelf. Well, if I have brand registry, which I do, I can actually go into brand analytics and I can dive into the demographics on Amazon. Amazon is actually telling me this, who is buying my product, what age, what gender identity, what income, what college level. And then I can take that, like maybe it's 80% this one demographic. Well, what I'm going to do when I run my audience test, I'm going to target that exact market of who I already know who my customers are. So there's your 30-second tip of the day. If you've got brand registry, dive into your brand analytics to get that demographics information first. And now you'll be able to laser focus exactly who you are going to target in Helium 10 audience. Let me know in the comments, guys. Are you stoked about this? I haven't even been looking at the comments. Priyanka is there. Rachel, come on, guys. Let me know. Is this like, this is amazing, guys. I hope you guys are excited about this. Now, we've got plenty more exciting things coming to Helium 10, not just in the suite, but on the content side as well. We have new features that are coming to our blog that our amazing content writers are coming out with all the time. We've got a new live video series that's going to launch really soon, all about listing optimization with our brand evangelist, Karen Thomas, who's going to be doing that. And a lot more things like our weekly news is coming back, et cetera, et cetera. So guys, make sure that you are tuned into all our social media channels so that you know when these things are launched. You excited about any of those things, Shivali?
I am. I can't wait for all of those things. Thank you so much for all these announcements too. There's been so much that is so exciting that it might be hard for, our viewers to keep track of. So why not we recap everything?
Sounds like a plan, Stan. Let's go into it. What did we go over today? First off, Simon shared with us the new additions to the Chrome extension. What were these additions? Well, there was a new designed X-ray. There was new filters in X-ray. There's the demand analyzer now able to be used on Walmart.com, on Etsy, on Pinterest, on Shopify websites, and on Pinterest trends. And then we have our very first tool that is specifically for wholesale. So see, I can say it right. You guys can say it.
I couldn't get it right.
See, now you're
for the
messing
life
up.
of me.
Wholesale sellers. We've got our first tool for wholesale sellers, the sales estimator that is in the Chrome extension. Next up, Yaxi came on the show and she talked about the new seller filters that can help you with product ideas. That is for Black Box, and that's going to help private label sellers, arbitrage sellers, wholesale sellers. She also announced the new search volume trends that can let you know if a keyword is gaining or losing popularity on Amazon, and a new tool called Listing Analyzer. A lot of you guys who are writing in the comments when I put, hey, what was your favorite thing that we launched? By the way, guys, let us know in the comments again. Now that we've gone through more, let us know now, what are your top 2 favorite things that we announced today? Is Listing Analyzer one of them? Lastly, Yaxi announced that we are now have our keyword research tools and product research tools available in the marketplace of Australia. I can't speak Korean like you can, but maybe a bad Australian accent. What else did we go over today?
Not too bad. Tim Jordan joined us to talk about the newest Ulta feature, the virtual business card, which can help you get funds to spend faster and even get cash back multiple ways. We also had Cassandra join us to give us a sneak peek of the new Elevate documentary series that is coming soon and will hopefully inspire and empower new and experienced entrepreneurs alike as to what's possible in the world of e-commerce.
Next, Carrie and Alex came on the show and they talked about all those cool new updates in portals, including the ability to purchase domains right within Helium 10. We also went over the featured product insert templates that come from the influencers like who are those? Norm Farrar,
yes,
Paul Barron, and Tom Wang. And we're going to have more in the future as well. And then Alex also introduced to us Blueprints, which simplifies your strategy for your sales funnels and your lead gen process. We then introduced to everybody what this was my favorite. Like if I was in the audience and I was typing in what my favorite, it was the CPR 3.0. It took us over a year to come up with this. And this is powered by the Maldives honeymoon strategy. It's designed to help you know what it takes for full priced orders that are organic, search, find, buy, how many units it will take you to get to have the best chance to get to the top 16 positions on page 1. And it's also tailor-made for specific ASINs if you use the new dynamic CPR that is available in Keyword Tracker.
Yes, and then Colleen next introduced us to the Helium 10 Trusted Partner Directory, which will be a comprehensive collection of professionals that sellers can reach out to help build and expand their e-com business. And then lastly, of course, we had Bradley and Justin from PickFu introduced the Helium 10 Audience, a new tool that can help sellers of any stage get important insights into customer preferences without having to do it on a live Amazon listing. So with Audience, you'll be able to laser focus your research into your exact target demographic to get the most relevant results.
All right, guys, you ready for something special? If you're not yet a Helium 10 member, all right, and you've gotten inspired by all these updates, remember, these are all in addition to the already existing over 30 tools that we have for Amazon sellers that cover you from A to Z. Well, we've got a special for you if you haven't yet signed up for Helium 10. For the first time this year, we're offering 50% off, not 1, but 2 months of your Helium 10 membership, Platinum or Diamond plan. Now, both of these plans have full access also to our Freedom Ticket training program, which has over 40 hours of detailed A to Z training, including the Project X that we've been referring to, on how to get started to sell on Amazon if you're brand new, or if you're existing sellers. We've got a lot of 6, 7, and 8-figure sellers who review modules in Freedom Ticket in order to scale their business. And just remember, guys, Helium 10 always comes with a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. So really, it's like a no-brainer. Like you have 0 risk. All right, you can start using Helium 10 today, and sure, you'll pay this 50% off the first month. But let's say in week 3 or towards the end of week 4, you're like, you know what? I'm not ready to sell on Amazon. No problem. Just ask for your money back. We'll return your money 100%. You're not even out a cent. So it's literally risk-free. You're either going to love it because you're going to start selling on Amazon, or if you want to pause it and you don't want to wait, we'll return your money. So I want you guys to sign up. And how to sign up? What's the website to sign up?
Helium10.com/innovate.
Innovate. If you're a spelling challenged like myself, INNOVAT. You got the link right there on the bottom right.
Yes. So at this time, let's bring back our guests for some Q&A. For those of you watching at home, drop your questions in the chat and we'll try to answer them, as many of them as possible, in the next 20 minutes.
All right. So we got Colleen, there's Alex. So let's start getting these questions here. I first of all, I want to just give some shout outs to the people. Janelle says her favorite is the CPR3 and Audience as well. So that's awesome. Tom is excited about CPR and Audience. We've got all the tools work in Amazon UK. You know what? Let's go to Simon. Let's talk about, let's go to Simon first and then Yaxi. So Simon, your announcements that you gave today, Does it apply for UK too?
Yeah, absolutely. UK is included it's supported by the Chrome extension.
Yaxi, same thing for you?
Yep, supported by the research tools.
Awesome. All right, let's see. Get those questions in. Oh my goodness, now that we got like a 2-minute delay here, so all of a sudden there's gonna be a flood of questions here. By the way, guys, if you ask a question earlier, please go back and do it, because we have about 700 chats here from 3 different platforms. So like, if it's not coming in right now, we lost it here. All right, we got a question about the CPR here. What do we do on our keyword tracker if the CPR column shows NA? All right, so if it shows NA, what that means is it's already in the top 16. All right, so if you see NA in keyword tracker, that means it's already in the top 16. Okay, so remember, the CPR number is designed to help you get to the top 16. So if you're already in the top 16, then we'll just put the NA, because you don't need to know the CPR number. You've already reached your goals. Simon, this is from Linda. Can you go ahead and my eyesight is too bad.
When will the Pinterest and Etsy options be available on the Chrome extension?
If you're asking about full support for the Chrome extension for those marketplaces, I would say that it's on the long-term roadmap. Obviously, it takes a lot of research and a lot of legwork to kind of offer full tool support. But I do want to remind you that the demand analyzer is there for Pinterest and Etsy, so you could actually conduct Amazon product research on those platforms. So that's the first start for us.
Okay, Simon, since you're on a roll here, let's go to Tahir's. Can you explain again that sales estimator for the wholesale sellers out there?
Okay, so the sales estimator, what it does is, let's just say you want to estimate. If you're trying to sell a potential wholesale product and you want to get an idea and sense of how much sales you're going to make for that given month. Wholesale sellers, as you know, share the buy box. So what you need to do is, or what sales estimator helps you do, is that we automatically calculate the number of sellers who are selling that product currently who are within 2% of the buy box price. Now, with that number, what we do is we get the sales figure that Helium 10 calculates for you, and then we divide that by the number of sellers who are within 2% of the buy box price. And if you include yourself, so if you're looking at the sales estimator now, I wish there was a screen to show it, but if you were to look at it, there's a number of competitive FBA offers already kind of there on the right side. Now, if you get that number, it'll all be automatically populated on the left. Just add yourself. So if there's 2 competitive sellers and you want to potentially sell that product, add yourself, change that to 3, and it'll automatically divide the sales figure by the number of competitor sellers there plus yourself. And that will give you kind of like a general overview figure of how much potential sales you could expect to make for that.
Chincha?
Yeah.
I took your Korean word there. All right, let's keep going here. What's this? What did Vahid say here, Shivali?
Is the audience tool also available for the German market? It would be very handy.
Can you do that can you query any Germany members, Justin?
Right now, it is just US-based audience, but we are working on international, so we hope to have that soon.
Okay, quick question from Cassie. How to use a CPR when using multiple keywords? That's like literally exactly what I talk about, because that's part of the method of the Maldives. So make sure to check out episode 250 and 200 of the podcast. Don't get me started on this. I'll be here for like 5 minutes. So go back to that episode and you'll get the answer to that question.
For the branded URL, can you just use a URL from your existing brand website, or does it need to be purchased through the tool?
So right now you can only connect domains that are purchased through portals. And we also support connecting to your Shopify store. So if you register it within portals, you can connect it externally to Shopify. But if you already have a branded domain that you own through a different registrar, currently you can't point it to your portal landing page, but we will be working on that soon to offer that capability.
Wonderful.
Okay. I don't see Tim here, but we got a question that I would like guys you to send a question is customer service. This is can I access Alta from Uganda? So Alta works for a lot of countries. I'm not sure of the entire list. So if you go to the Alta website, there's a list of all the countries that it works for. And then if you see something that's not on there, please send a message to support@helium10.com with the country that you're in, and they can help you out with letting you know if it works. All right, let's see. This is not a question, but go ahead and read this one, Shavali. I like this one.
I am so glad Helium 10 exists, LOL. So many tools it has to assist in the great journey we all have. Very true. I can definitely relate to that too, Michael.
And shout out to somebody who I forgot, like way earlier, they're like, is Helium 10 now kind of like the Amazon of Amazon tools, just dominating? I forgot. I wish I saved that comment. I forgot who said that. All right, here's a question that I think if Alex had $1 for every time he got this question, he'd be a millionaire. So Alex, there's always been this kind of thought in the industry, like, wait a minute, we can't really do insert cards and have it go to an outside website, but that's not true, right?
Right. So I think a lot of people that use like our follow-up email automation tool equate the communications in that to any sort of buyer-seller communications. So the rules are not the same when it comes to insert promotional materials. There are two that hold definitely true. So the first is that you should never incentivize a product review or positive seller feedback. So that still holds true. And you also do not want to divert sales traffic away from Amazon. If you're avoiding doing those two things, you can still have someone go to a landing page to activate an extended warranty or offer a free gift. These other strategies are acceptable through Amazon. Now, again, if you're doing the follow-up method, you don't want to have external links, which is why you can't actually use those strategies in a email follow-up message, but you can include those strategies in your product insert strategy. And Bradley, I think we've tested this out with you before too. So maybe you have some examples or you can shed some light on that as well.
Yeah, guys, just remember, like the things that you don't want to mess around with, whether you're talking about inserts or anything else, is review manipulation. All right. So when you heard about, I can't even talk. I'm trying to speak Korean. I can't even speak English. When you heard about how people would get suspended because of inserts, well, what was happening was, people were trying to say, hey, leave me a 5-star review and then I'll give you like $50. That's like 100% against Amazon terms of service.
Which
you're
people
not going to find.
People
do. Have you gotten products like that?
Oh, yes, 100%.
Now,
but that is against
the law, the Amazon law. You're going to get worse than a slap on the hand if you do that. So our new portals tools and our inserts have none of those, the new templates, blueprints. You're not going to see any of that kind of review manipulation. So you don't have to worry about that. Now, Hoon here had a question for Yaxi. Is the search volume, the new trends, is that Google or Amazon?
That's Amazon. Yep.
Exactly. All right. Thank you for that, Hoon. Shavali, how can people watch this if they came on later?
This will be available on YouTube. I believe it still is going to be living on LinkedIn and Facebook as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So any of the social media platforms that we streamed on, there will be a replay available.
Okay. And this is for our back. Like I said, guys, we've got like 10, 15 people behind the scenes that, they're not here in front of the camera, so you don't know the hard work that they're putting in. But one of these is Brian. So Brian or Lonnie, could you throw up the link for Mr. You see on YouTube, and on Facebook, it's people's names, but on YouTube, people, I was like, so Mr. or Mrs. Aid, let me hide this. There we go. There, Aid, there's the link to get the 50% off, helium10.com/innovate. For Colleen, a question for the vendor directory, will you have other countries like Singapore vendors potentially for the vendor directory?
Yeah, it's a global directory because we know our sellers need support in every country. So we're actively looking for more partners. We're having those conversations every day. So I hope that that list will grow. And I already took a note of all the feedback for the directory. So I'm really excited that people are looking forward to it. So.
Okay, cool. Let's see here. Any other questions, guys, about what we announced today? Here's one, just is an easy one. Where are the inserts located? How can people find what you were talking about today, Alex?
So you can find the product inserts feature. There's a page for it in our portals tool. And I believe with any paid plan, you have unlimited product inserts. So you can go in and create as many different templates, designs, download as many as you'd like. You can find that within our portals tool.
All right, well, guys, that's all the time we have for today. So Shivali, can you take it home?
Yes, absolutely. What an amazing Q&A. Thank you to everyone for doing it. Well, this was really one for the books. That's all I have to say. And I'd like to thank all of our speakers and guests for coming on today and sharing all these wonderful updates that I am super thrilled and over the moon about. I am Shivali Patel, and thank you for watching.
See you guys.